Welcome back to Becoming Ultimate Masters. We're diving deep today, folks, with Bruce Lipton, this brilliant cell biologist who's got some seriously mind-blowing ideas about how our thoughts and beliefs can actually shape our lives.
Oh, absolutely.
Ready to unlock your inner superpower?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
One of the things that just really struck me from Lipton's interview with Evan Carmichael is this idea of ATP as the energy currency of our bodies. He says it's like the cash in our bank account. We've got to spend it wisely.
Yeah, it's a fantastic analogy, isn't it? Lipton says we need to be just as mindful of our mental energy as we are with our finances. Think about how mentally exhausted you feel after a day of stressing or worrying. That's your ATP being drained by all those negative thoughts.
Okay, so that makes sense. But how do we stop those energy-sapping thoughts? Do we just tell ourselves to stop thinking negative thoughts?
Well, it's trickier than that. Lipton talks about how our subconscious mind is often running the show. And it's filled with beliefs and programs we picked up way back in childhood. And sometimes those beliefs, they just don't serve us anymore, but they keep draining our energy like a leaky faucet.
Okay, so we've got these subconscious beliefs that we might not even be aware of messing with our energy. So how do we even begin to change those?
Well, Lipton has this interesting idea called fake it till you make it, which might sound a bit cheesy, but there's actually some pretty solid science behind it.
Okay, so hold up. Fake it till you make it. Doesn't it just feel, well, fake? How does that actually work?
It's all about rewiring our brains, you see. Think of it like creating a new path through a dense forest. At first, it's tough going, It's hard to walk through. But the more you tread that path, the easier it becomes. Lipton says that when we repeatedly affirm what we want to believe, even if we don't fully feel it yet, we start to create new neural pathways in our brains.
So if I keep telling myself I am confident, even when I'm feeling shy, eventually my brain will start to believe it.
Exactly. The subconscious mind, it doesn't judge whether your affirmations are true at this moment. It just responds to repetition. So over time, those positive affirmations, they can override the old limiting beliefs.
Okay, so that's pretty mind-blowing. Makes you realize just how much power we actually have to shape our own reality.
Absolutely. And Lipton doesn't stop there. He goes on to say that the universe itself is more like a great thought than a machine.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but also a bit lost. What does he actually mean by the universe being a great thought?
But think of it like this. Instead of the universe being this fixed machine, it's more like a giant mood ring, constantly reflecting the collective energy of our thoughts and beliefs. Lipton says that we're all connected in this energy field. And our individual thoughts and feelings, they contribute to the overall vibe.
Wait, so you're saying our thoughts actually have an impact on the world around us?
That's precisely what Lipton's suggesting. He's drawing on these principles of quantum physics, which I admit can get a little complex. But the basic idea is that everything is energy, and our thoughts can influence that energy field.
So we're not just thinking beings, we're also energy beings, constantly sending out these vibes into the universe. That's a lot to take in.
It is, and it might sound like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But Lipton says there's actual science to back it up.
Well, I'm definitely feeling my mind expanding already.
Now, remember how we talked about the subconscious mind sometimes working against us? Well, Lipton tells this amazing story about how he almost fell into the victim mentality trap. Feeling like life was just happening to him.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that way before, like I'm just a passenger in my own life.
But Lipton says understanding these concepts was like a total game changer for him. It was like switching on a light in a dark room. He realized that he had the power to change his thoughts, and ultimately, his reality.
So it's not about blaming the world for our problems, but taking ownership of our own thoughts and actions.
Exactly. And he calls this breaking through what he calls the terror barrier. That wall of fear and conditioning that holds us back from reaching our full potential.
Okay, so we've got this terror barrier that we need to break through. How do we actually do that?
Well, Lipton believes that one of the most powerful ways to overcome this barrier is to find a mentor, someone who embodies the qualities and achievements that you aspire to.
So like a role model, someone who can inspire us to become our best selves.
Absolutely. Lipton says a mentor can provide guidance, support, and a roadmap to follow, helping you overcome those self-doubts and anxieties that can creep in. When you're trying to step outside your comfort zone, it's like having a guide on an uncharted path.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Having someone who's been there and done that can make all the difference, especially when things get tough.
Exactly. And Lipton also recommends diving into some personal growth books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. He says these books are just packed with wisdom and practical tips for rewiring our minds, for success and happiness.
He says he's been reading Think and Grow Rich for over 2 decades and still finds new insights every time he picks it up.
That's the beauty of these books, you know? They're not just a one-time read. They're like a conversation with a wise friend
Yeah.
that you can revisit again and again as you grow and evolve.
So it's not enough to just read these books. We need to actually apply the principles in our lives, right?
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, but only when we put it into action. Lipton really emphasizes the importance of continuous learning and self-discovery. It's about constantly expanding our awareness, challenging our limiting beliefs, and stepping into our full potential.
It's about becoming the ultimate masters of our own destinies. Well, this has been a jam-packed deep dive already, and we've only just scratched the surface of Bruce Lipton's amazing work.
There's definitely more to explore.
We'll be back with part 2 soon. But in the meantime, why don't you take a moment to reflect on what's resonated with you most from this conversation? Maybe grab a pen and paper and just jot down some of the key takeaways. And remember, you are a powerful creator with the ability to shape your own reality. Don't underestimate the incredible potential that lies within you.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, how we can get so caught up in the day-to-day that we completely forget about this power that we have within us.
Totally, it's like we're sleepwalking through life.
Yeah.
But Lipton actually uses this really cool analogy to explain how our thoughts actually become our reality. He talks about the body being like a virtual reality suit.
Ah, yes. That's one of my favorites. He's saying that the physical world is all about, sensation and feeling. And it's through our bodies that we get to experience it all.
Right, but how do our thoughts tie into this virtual reality suit?
Well, remember how we talked about thoughts being like energy vibrations? Lipton says those vibrations, they interact with the energy field around us. It's like our thoughts are creating ripples in this giant pond.
Okay, so I'm picturing this giant energy pond now.
Yeah.
But how do those ripples actually affect our lives?
Through resonance. It's this principle in physics where vibrations attract similar vibrations. So if we're constantly sending out these negative vibes, guess what?
What?
We're more likely to attract negative experiences back to us.
Oh, so basically, if I'm walking around thinking I'm having a bad day,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to end up having a bad day.
Well, it's not quite that simple, of course. But Lipton's point is that our mental and emotional states, they play a huge role in shaping our reality. If we want to experience more joy, abundance, and love, we need to cultivate those feelings within ourselves first.
So it's like our thoughts are like magnets attracting experiences that match their vibe.
Yeah.
So we've got to make sure we're putting out good vibes.
Exactly. And Lipton emphasizes that this isn't just about, positive thinking. It's about becoming aware of our dominant thoughts and beliefs, and then consciously choosing the ones that empower us.
Okay, which brings us back to that terror barrier that we were talking about. Lipton says we need to overcome it to reach our full potential.
Right. And he uses this really interesting analogy to illustrate how this barrier works. Imagine someone who's always played it safe, never stepped outside their comfort zone.
They've got their routine, their familiar habits, their little bubble of comfort.
Exactly. And their energy is vibrating at a certain frequency that's aligned with that limited reality.
But then something happens. They come across a new idea, a new opportunity, a new dream that sparks something within them.
And this new desire, it vibrates at a higher frequency, challenging their existing reality.
Their internal compass is starting to point them in a new direction. But they're scared to take that first step.
And that's where that terror barrier kicks in, you see. The subconscious mind, programmed with all those old fears and limiting beliefs, it sees this change as a threat.
It's like an internal alarm system going off, screaming, "Danger! Stay in your comfort zone. It's safer here."
Exactly. And it throws up all kinds of obstacles. Fear, doubt, anxiety, procrastination, even physical symptoms sometimes. It's trying to pull you back to the familiar, even if that familiar isn't serving you anymore.
So it's this battle between our desire for growth and our fear of the unknown.
Exactly. And Lipton says the key to overcoming this barrier is becoming aware of this dynamic, understanding that fear is just a natural part of growth, and consciously choosing to move forward despite the fear.
So how do we make that choice? How do we push through that fear and step outside of our comfort zone?
Well, Lipton talks about the importance of finding a mentor, someone who embodies the qualities and achievements that you aspire to. It's like having a guide through unfamiliar terrain. Someone who's been there before can help you navigate the challenges.
So it's about finding someone who inspires you, who believes in you, and who can help you see your own potential even when you can't see it yourself.
Exactly. And Lipton also emphasizes the importance of personal growth resources, like those books we mentioned earlier. Think and Grow Rich and The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. He says these books can provide the tools and strategies that you need to reprogram your subconscious mind for success.
It's like giving our minds a software upgrade, replacing those old limiting beliefs with new empowering ones.
Precisely. And it's not just about reading these books, it's about actively applying the principles in your life, experimenting, practicing, and seeing what works for you.
It's like learning a new skill. You wouldn't expect to become a master chef just by reading a cookbook, right? You got to get in the kitchen and start cooking.
That's a great analogy. And Lipton says the same goes for personal growth. It's about taking action, making mistakes, learning from those mistakes, and continuously growing and evolving.
So it's about embracing the journey, trusting the process, and never giving up on our dreams, even when things get tough.
Absolutely. And remembering that we have the power to shape our own reality, to create the life we desire, and to become the ultimate masters of our destinies.
This is all reminding me of something else Lipton talks about, treating each minute as if it were our last. It's a pretty powerful idea.
It is. It's not about, living in fear of death, but rather about living with this sense of urgency and purpose.
So instead of wasting time on things that don't matter, we should be focusing on what truly brings us joy and fulfillment.
Exactly. It's about aligning our actions with our passions, pursuing our dreams, and making the most of every precious moment.
And Lipton also talks about the importance of reevaluating our beliefs, those deeply held assumptions that shape our perceptions and experiences.
He encourages us to question those beliefs, to see if they're truly serving us, or if they're holding us back from experiencing the fullness of life.
So it's like taking inventory of our mental furniture, getting rid of the stuff that's outdated or no longer fits our style, and replacing it with something fresh and inspiring.
That's a great way to put it. And Lipton suggests this simple but powerful exercise. Ask yourself, what do I really love doing? What brings me joy? What makes me feel alive?
That's a question we should all be asking ourselves more often.
And Lipton says the answers to these questions, they can provide really valuable clues about our true purpose and passion.
So it's about connecting with our heart's desires, listening to that inner voice that's guiding us toward our highest potential.
Exactly. And when we align our actions with our passions, when we do what we love, our energy flows effortlessly, and we naturally attract abundance and fulfillment into our lives.
It's like we're tapping into this source of unlimited power and creativity.
That's a beautiful way to describe it. And remember, Lipton emphasizes that this journey of self-discovery and transformation, it's a lifelong process. There's always more to learn, more to explore, and more to become.
So it's not about reaching some final destination. It's about embracing the journey and enjoying the ride.
Absolutely. It's about continuously evolving, expanding our awareness, and stepping into the fullness of who we're meant to be.
I love that. We are works in progress, always becoming, always evolving, always on the path to becoming the ultimate masters of our lives.
Yeah, it's really inspiring, right? It just goes to show that we all have the power to change our reality, no matter where we're starting from.
It's true. It's proof. We all have that power.
Absolutely, and he's so passionate about sharing this message with everyone. He wants everyone to know that they're not stuck with the hand they were dealt. We all have the power to rewrite our own stories.
It's like we've been given this amazing toolbox, but most of us, we don't even know it exists. Lipton is showing us how to use those tools to create a life we truly love.
And one of the most important tools he highlights is the power of belief. He says our beliefs shape our perceptions shape our experiences, and our experiences ultimately shape our reality.
So if I believe I'm capable of achieving great things, I'm more likely to take actions that will lead to those achievements.
Exactly. And conversely, if we're carrying around limiting beliefs, like I'm not good enough or I'll never be successful, those beliefs can totally sabotage our efforts and keep us stuck in this cycle of self-doubt and negativity.
It's like those beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. We end up creating the very reality that we fear the most.
Which is why Lipton emphasizes the importance of identifying and challenging those limiting beliefs. He says we need to ask ourselves, is this belief truly serving me? Is it helping me create the life I desire? Or is it holding me back?
So it's about becoming aware of those negative thought patterns and consciously choosing to replace them with more empowering beliefs.
Precisely. And Lipton suggests this really simple but powerful exercise for shifting those beliefs. Instead of focusing on what you don't want, start focusing on what you do want.
Okay, so instead of saying, I don't want to be broke.
Yeah.
I should say I am abundant and prosperous.
Exactly, because your subconscious mind, it doesn't register the don't. It's like saying, don't think about a pinch elephant. What's the first thing that pops into your mind?
A pink elephant, of course.
Right. So by focusing on what you do want, you're sending a clear message to your subconscious mind and aligning your energy with that desired outcome.
It's like those vision boards people create, with all the pictures and affirmations, representing their goals and dreams.
That's a great example. It's all about creating a visual representation of what you want to manifest in your life. And by looking at that vision board regularly, you're essentially programming your subconscious mind to align with those goals.
So it's not just about daydreaming about what we want. It's about taking concrete steps to make those dreams a reality.
Absolutely. And Lipton emphasizes that this requires action persistence and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones. Remember that terror barrier we talked about? We need to be willing to face those fears and push through them.
It's like we're all on this quest to unlock our full potential. And there will be challenges and obstacles along the way, but the rewards are definitely worth the effort.
Absolutely. And Lipton reminds us that we're not alone on this journey. He encourages us to seek out mentors, connect with like-minded individuals, and just create the supportive community around us.
Because we can achieve so much more when we work together, right?
Mhm.
When we lift each other up,
Mm.
and when we share our knowledge and resources.
Exactly. And Lipton also stresses the importance of continuous learning, of seeking out knowledge and inspiration that fuel our growth. He recommends reading personal growth books, attending seminars, listening to podcasts, surrounding ourselves with people who inspire and challenge us.
Like we're all students in the school of life, constantly learning, growing, and evolving.
And the more we learn, the more we realize how much there still is to learn. It's this really exciting and never-ending journey.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. Bruce Lipton's work is just so inspiring and empowering. It's this reminder that we are all capable of creating these extraordinary lives, filled with purpose, joy, and abundance.
I completely agree. His message is one of hope, possibility, and unlimited potential.
Absolutely. I'm walking away from this conversation feeling energized and ready to take action. And I hope our listeners are feeling the same.
Me too. Just remember, the power to shape your reality lies within you. Choose your thoughts wisely, cultivate empowering beliefs, and take bold action towards your dreams.
And don't forget to check daily for new episodes of the Becoming Ultimate Masters podcast. We've got so much more inspiration and wisdom to share with you. You can also visit www.ultimatemasters.org coaching or WhatsApp +256 771 324 119. If you're ready to take your personal growth journey to the next level, our team is here to support you every step of the way. And if this deep dive has resonated with you, please share it with others who might benefit from this empowering message. Let's create a ripple effect of positive change in the world. Until next time, keep believing in yourself, keep expanding your awareness, and keep becoming the ultimate master you are meant to be.